What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Want to thank my sponsor, Steel Supplements. Link and discount code down the description. And, you know, it's about that time of year where we start to get really worried about the state of Madden. Is Madden in more trouble than we thought? A couple days ago, we saw EA Play Live was coming back July 22nd. EA Play is what EA started to kind of get away from E3 and kind of have their own, I don't want to say proprietary releasing, but, you know, they are a pretty large studio. They have a lot of games, and they wanted to just get focused on their product. So that's all good. I don't have a problem with that. But when you talk about Madden, you talk about a game that generally releases mid to late August. If you're going to have EA Play July 22nd, to me, that signifies you've only got about a month. As long as we're staying current, you only have about a month to get information released about the game. Now, one of the things that I found really interesting about this article is it goes on to talk about specific numbers, okay? If you're in business, you understand numbers drive everything. So when EA Sports comes out here to talk about FIFA, they have numbers to back it up. 100 million players, 20 million worldwide, team matches for FUT up 180%. You can look at this and quantify that a game is successful. You can look at this and understand that the game is being used more by gamers and played by gamers. Yet, when you look at Madden, it's simply left at Madden NFL had its biggest year ever. That, to me, doesn't really mean a lot. That doesn't really have a lot of credibility behind it unless, you know, you take into account Madden trended several times for being an awful football game on Twitter, had several hashtags created for it, and took the crown of one of the lowest rated games. Not just sports, one of the lowest rated games, if not the lowest user rating of a AAA title game on Metacritic. I mean, I would say that's a big year. I don't know that I would put that in this, but it certainly is a big year. So he talks about building on that strength with a massive year for innovation and expansion. You know, to be fair, the strength with Madden is in the license, is within the NFL shield. That's the only strength Madden has. Innovation and expansion, they're really not things we've seen. You know, when you look at what Madden has brought in, you know, sure, Superstar KO, sure, SpongeBob Stadium, but I don't know if that's the innovation they're speaking to simulation football gamers with, which is going to bring us to the 2K conversation at some point. But I want to talk about some other gamers that should have fear in their heart right now, because if you aren't aware, Andrew Wilson came out and talked about adding new additions to EA Sports' incredible lineup of simulation titles, being F1 and PGA Golf. And he goes on to talk about how they're going to now take Super Mega Baseball from Metalhead Software and MLB Tap Sports Baseball and just, you know, drive everything into the ground. The fact that they come out here and say EA Sports is publishing the highest rated sports franchise in the world with F1 that they just took from Codemasters tells you all you need to know about how this company operates. They weren't looking to engage a new fan base. They were looking to say, we want to publish the highest rated sports franchise game in the world. Even if we're not the one that was making the game, we want to lay claim to the stake of we are now publishing the highest rated sports franchise in the world. Think about that. You know, when they come out and they say all our new EA Sports games are designed for next-gen console platforms. Think about this. All our new EA Sports games are designed for next-gen consoles. That's an interesting statement. That, to me, means one thing. This must be a new Madden. And when you talk about new Madden, you have to talk about starting from the ground up. You have to start talking about animations no longer dictating gameplay. How hard is it, honestly, to make a game that is not so defined by animations? I'm going to do a breakdown video in a couple days that goes over 2 plays where everything is 100% animation based. And it makes no sense if you're selling a game where the user is supposed to have control, if you're selling a game where the skill is supposed to be in the players on the field and the player holding the controller, yet you restrict everything to a library of seemingly decreasing animations, where we can see the game do incredible things, unrealistic things, on an hourly basis. And they think that they're going to sell to a fan base that has clearly had enough a new game in 1 month? I just don't know how it happens. I know if it happens, this means more than any other year before, they are going to be thoroughly dependent on the NFL simulation football license to sell this game. And to go back to what I mentioned a few minutes ago, where I'm really taken back with that is, if the NFL and EA are dealing with this agreement and there's no other game in the marketplace, people will buy the game solely on the NFL agreement. But now with 2K coming in, how much does someone really have to see? How much does someone really have to look at and say, okay, here's another option, before they take advantage of it, before they at least want to go try it? I mean, if you go all the way back to 2K5, when you went through the $20 price war, which really caused the issue that led us to this day, all 2K wanted was for someone to be able to experience both games, try something different. Well, unbeknownst to EA, by having the complete market share over the past 15 years, they've gotten people so beaten down with Madden and how the game plays, they're actively going out and seeking other things. Whether it's independent games, whether it's not playing football games and looking for other sports titles, they've damaged the entire football gaming community to a large extent. To the point that Madden gets shelved faster than almost any other game. Creators in this space struggle to make content because the game is so boring and repetitive. How many times can we show how bad it is? You know, I've probably shown you how bad Madden is in clips 200 plus times this year. And it's a never-ending story of Madden being awful. So I think this really sets themselves up a short time to sell you a new game, what may appear to be a commitment to put out finally a next-gen game after the next-gen consoles have already been out, and then knowing that they can no longer rest on the same agreement they had in the past because there will be another NFL branded title in the marketplace. Madden 22 could be the worst we've ever seen from EA, because it doesn't have to be any better than it already was. Love to know your thoughts on this. Appreciate you checking it out. You know I will be back in the week with more commentary.